you heard about the story of Mrs. Porter in 1787. She'd been waiting outside the Independence Hall because the founding fathers were in a secret session for several months, and they were trying to figure out what was going to happen to the 13 colonies that had fought and defeated Britain. And then she saw Benjamin Franklin coming out, finally, out of the doors. His job had been completed yet, and she asked, Dr. Franklin, what have you got? A monarchy or a republic? And he said, you have a republic if you can keep it. He could have just said, we have a republic. But he added those 5 words, if you can keep it. Those 5 words really, today, engender the mission of the Tea Party movement. Because today, it falls upon the Tea Party to make sure we keep this constitutional republic. John Adams, in 1814, wrote, remember, democracy never lasts. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself. There is never a democracy that did not commit suicide. And that's what we're doing right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're committing suicide. Abraham Lincoln in 1838 said the same thing in a speech in Illinois when he said, if destruction be our lot, we must ourselves be its author and finisher. As a nation of free men, we must live through all time or die by suicide. If you look at what is happening to America and you overlay it as to what happened to the Roman Empire, the parallels are frightening. We are going down that same road, and a vast majority of Americans today act like frauds. And I'll tell you what that means shortly. So we're at a tipping point. America is at a tipping point, and it's going to depend on you. In fact, I think there are 3 groups of people that are going to save America. One is the Tea Party movement, second is our military, and third is the Christian pulpits. And when we lose those Christian principles, we will have lost our country. So we have a president today and his staff that occupy the White House that in many respects seem like you've been occupied by a foreign power. You know, we have a president who in my time could not have passed a security clearance to get a government job. And now he is the commander-in-chief, and he holds the code for nuclear reaction. Okay. As a presidential candidate, he accused the Midwest of being little people clinging to God and their guns. Remember that? Okay. That's how he thought about us. The first thing he did when he was elected president, he went on a worldwide tour. And what did he do? He apologized for America. He bowed down to the king of Saudi Arabia. He claimed that America is not a Christian nation. He publicly claimed that. In Turkey, he announced that America was one of the largest Muslim nations in the world. But less than 1% of our population is Muslim. Over 80% of our population is Christian. He reduced the number of ships in our Navy. He announced to the world, the first time ever, because it was a secret fact, the number of nuclear weapons we had in our stockpile. And he started a program of destroying them without researching for modern ways of handling nuclear weapons. He pushed for the repeal of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. And I don't know if you're aware of that, but I wouldn't get into it later. made the federal government a sixth owner of our economy. He took over the control of the banks. He took over control of the car companies and GM particularly, and he did that because he wanted to save American jobs. What did GM do with the $500 billion they got? They built a plant in Mexico. Okay, what happened to Americans? It's time for Americans to start talking about and doing things which are in the best interests of America. And I don't have any problem saying this, okay? There is an effort out there, an effort that they talk about the global economy to destroy the sovereignty of the United States, to destroy our freedom. Slowly, little by little, we are being drawn into this global economy. That's where you get the idea that what is best for our huge companies are best for America, and our huge companies want the global economy. Why? Because you think it's for the best of America? No. They want it because they're looking at the bottom line, profit. And so they will sell our information to China for profit. Our economy is the best. Radical Islam is on the rise. The world mocks us as being weak. What went wrong? We started as 13 colonies without a standing navy or army, and we defeated the most powerful nation in the world at that time. Over the years, we have survived, we have prospered, we have gained in strength. We defeated evil in World War I and in World War II and in the Cold War. Today, we are the most wealthy and the most powerful nation in the history of the human race. Yet, there is a cloud hanging over our nation. George Washington, the father of our country, in his farewell address said, "Of all acts which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports." John Adams agreed